What's going on, everybody? I'm your favorite host, Crypto Dreams. So I am in lovely Florida. Look what I got behind me. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So let's talk a little bit. As I was studying just recently, I was studying project management stuff. And it kind of got me thinking a little bit about cryptocurrency, strategy, that type of thing. So hopefully this isn't wet. I'm gonna get comfy here. All right, we're good. A little cold, but we're comfy. All right, so, this is kind of what I was thinking. I was thinking that everything is kind of looking like 2020 again. And I'm not talking about the collapse. I'm talking about 2020, meaning this will be a year that you can kind of accumulate. You'll make some money, that type of thing. And then I believe in the first quarter and second quarter of 2025 is going to be epic. Crazy valuations, corrections and stuff. And it'll look like 2021. That's kind of how things are shaping up, and that's what I'm willing to put my hat on. So if you were able, so if we look backwards, right, okay, you're accumulating in 2018, 2019, and then you had the chaos in 2020, and then the chaos kind of worked itself out, and then we were still kind of going up, and then it was 2021 was just epic crazy. I think we're gonna have something like that again. And yeah, we know about the election year, the halving, and that type of thing. But we're having a Fed pivot. That means things are going to probably just look like, I won't say look like shit for this year, because we're gonna have a spot ETF. But the true magnification of the spot Bitcoin ETF, I think there'll be an initial run up, and then as people just get used to the news, it'll kind of just not do much. It'll probably just kind of trade stagnant, sideways for a while. And then when the real money starts to come in and all the other stuff starts to get built out and be implemented, that's when you're going to see the huge run up. So yeah, if you want to catch Bitcoin at these low prices, between 40,000 and 45,000, like unless you're going to buy a whole Bitcoin, I mean, who cares? I mean, a tenth of a Bitcoin is $4,000 or it's 4,500. Okay, so you have to pay an extra $500. But we know where Bitcoin and these cryptocurrencies eventually are going to be. They're going to be, whether it's tomorrow or 2-3 years from now, they're here to stay. They serve a function. There's going to be speculative mania. There's going to be a lot of just, there's going to be a lot of just growing pains. I'll call it that. But I still think that there's a lot of gems you can buy and accumulate for the rest of the year. I was kind of leaning towards you have to get all your crypto now. That is somewhat true. If you buy something today, it's going to take you a year to be able to get the long-term capital gains in the United States. Thank God a lot of my stuff that I bought a year or two ago or whatever, so I'm pretty safe with a lot of the bags that I have now. However, all the new money I'm bringing in, like I said, you're going to have time to accumulate. Now, Bitcoin specifically, there's shortages now. I already did a whole presentation on that, and I didn't even dive deep into that, and I left out a lot of things. And that was like 2 or 3 hours to put in a PowerPoint presentation to try to explain and articulate in a very common sense way. And there's a lot of things that I left out on that. But it proves the point that by the time you're ready and comfortable to buy, a lot of these cryptos are going to be already gone, and already valuations are crazy. However, like I always tell you, zoom out. When you zoom out on these charts, Moon River $300. Okay, so you catch it at $20. If you want to do a short-term trade, catching it at $20, selling it at 30, that's a nice little trade. That's a 50% trade. If you want to trade and make 5 or 10%, that's fine. You'll have to pay taxes on that. And if you don't have a good ledger on what you're doing, you could have literally 10,000 trades. Even if you're willing to pay tax and you made money, your accountant is going to fucking hate you. And you're going to have to really keep good records. It's easier for taxes and record keeping, honestly, just to buy low, wait a few years, let the valuation explode, and then sell it. And you have one trade and you made good money. I think I'm going to have to do a series of videos on this. Investing and making money and everything, it's all on your mindset. And as I study more and more the project management and the academic part of it, and really internalize it. It takes a long time to internalize this stuff, and I'm actively working on it every single day. You have to have a clear goal of what the business value is. You have to write this stuff out. You have to have a clear understanding and grasp of this. And you have to also just be honest with yourself. Are you addicted to dopamine? Are you addicted to short-term dopamine? Are you addicted to just the easy gratification of things? Because if you don't fix that first, you're never going to make any money. You're never going to be successful because you're always going to be jumping around in your mind. You're always going to be going to the next shiny object. You're opening yourself to be susceptible to what other people interpretation of things, and you're going to be manipulated. And it's all going to be through dopamine. Dopamine is not a good thing if you just exercise dopamine like how normal people do it. We want to be extraordinary. To be extraordinary, you have to flip that dopamine around to long-term pain, and then you get the reward. Right now, it's painful to buy something, and then it goes down. Or it's painful to buy when it was $8, now it's $30. You jump in at 30, it goes to 20. That's painful. But then you buy at 20, then you buy at 10. I'm going to give you an example of LCX token. I made a lot of mistakes with that token. However, I have a nice bag. I bought a bag at 3 cents and dollar cost average at 3 cents, 3 to 4 cents. I feel that token can go to $1, $2. It's the next Voyager. It looks just like it. The damn thing was 11, 12, 13, 14 cents the other day. And my advice that I gave to my friends was, it's 3 cents. You invest $3,000 at 3 cents. You pick up 100,000 of these things and you sit on it. And chances are you'll make 100 grand, 50 grand or something. Even if it goes to 50 cents, if it goes to 50 cents and you have 100,000 of these things, you made 50 grand on $3,000 investment. I had a bag smaller than that. So yeah, I put less money into it. And for what my investment, when eventually it goes to 50 cents or $1, whatever it's going to do, I'll make money. But even at 14, 15 cents, I've already made money. But I could have made a lot of money. So I recognize that I actually made the same mistake that I made with Voyager. I had at one point 220,000 Voyager tokens. I was going to have, it was a penny or 2 pennies when I was buying it. And it was not very hard for me to get to a 500,000. And looking back in time, we only look back in time to try to learn, for lessons learned, not to beat ourselves over the head with our mistakes. But if I would have got a 500,000 and sold it at $3 or $4, I mean, we're talking millions of dollars there. I think LCX has that same potential, but also it's doing what Voyager did. Like, Voyager went from 3-4 cents, went to 15, 20 cents, crashed back down to 8 or 9 cents. And I could have traded back and forth a million friggin' times between 3 cents and 20 and back and forth. But the lessons learned for me, I learned about 80% of my lessons learned from that experience. I didn't learn the other 20%. The 20% is I should have went heavier at 3 cents. 3 cents, should have went heavier, should have had at least 100,000, 200,000 of these tokens, $250,000, and then been done with it, and then bought a separate bag to trade up and down, up and down, up and down. So even though I'm very aware of this stuff, I still don't get it right. Now, another thing that I would not get right is after it goes up, okay, it's 13 cents, it's 11 cents. Who gives a shit? Buy it at that point, because if you're solid with your assumptions that we're going to $1, $2, even if we're at 50 cents, if I can still get up to 100,000, 200,000 of these tokens, I still have time. Like, even though it went up 3-4x, there's still plenty of run up. The damn thing went to 55 cents last time, and it was just a baby, and it had like no features or anything. Now it's like it's exploding, and eventually, you know, they'll be able to come back to the United States and whatnot as time goes on. I'm just saying, like, as I say in my other videos, the more, it's called iteration. The more you rotate this in your mind, every couple weeks you refine it. You want the quality and you want the lessons learned, so then you can input it into the next circle and then refine it. And the lessons learned is what's valuable. Making your mistakes is valuable. Learning from your mistakes. And one of the biggest mistakes in cryptocurrency is not selling at the right time. So when we explode and we all think we're like gazillionaires about to go buy a Lambo, lock in some of these profits. You know, start taking your money out slowly here and there and everywhere. And also, when we start exploding high and things go like 10x in a day, and you start seeing it run and run and run, I've done this before. Throw in $5,000. If it goes up 3x, you just made 15 grand. 15 grand is a nice used Rolex, baby. You know, so these little tricks of the trade, if you look up predictive project management life cycle, and if you look up incremental, and if you look at agile, you know, get familiar with these terms. Sprint, Kanban approach, all this stuff is really going to help you in your crypto investing. And also, like, don't be lazy with this. Action. You got to take action, because like tomorrow something can go up 4x. You find it tonight. Like, I found Moon River at $8. I knew about, I found it a long time ago, but you know, I found it, you know, 4 days before it popped off. Like, it wasn't really that hard for me to go buy 1,000 of those tokens. You know, $8,000 investment, $9,000 investment would have turned out to be at the height, this near height, it got to $41. That would have been 41,000 bucks. So literally, time is money, money is time. Understanding this stuff, but you have to take the data. Now, what is data? Data is just what you observe. Okay, it's the raw numbers you're getting. It's the information. Okay, information has meaning. Data is just it's like information, but it has no meaning. So like data is the water's running. So the action of what I observe would be the data. The information would be the water is running. And then you have to add purpose to that. How does that running water, you know, either is a good thing or a bad thing? How can you use that information to then create value for yourself or a deliverable, right? So, you know, get all this information, and everything kind of repeats almost in the same way. Everybody's scared right now. Any news that's going to say that we're denied, or even if he's, you know, says, okay, next month we're going to have the spot Bitcoin ETF. Even if Gary Gensler said not this month, next month, Bitcoin will probably crash by $20,000, you know, by like 30-40%. Even though he would say, yeah, we're going to have one, but we're just not going to have one right now because we need to work on some stuff. If he actually came out and said that, Bitcoin would still crash, even though that's great news. So this is the stuff we need to look. A lot of this stuff it doesn't change. It's almost like a constant. When you look at cryptocurrencies over and over and over, it's like a constant. It rhymes, the same tokens, they pump the same, they act the same. Like one day, like XRP, one day it just goes berserk. And then it just kind of stays there, and it doesn't go up and up and up over time. Bitcoin, it all acts in different ways. But like I said, if you want a prediction, I'm predicting 2024 will be 50% of the capability that it could be. Things will start popping off. It'll look all good, but the big bang for your buck, the big money, the big bazooka is going to come out in 2025. You're going to have the Bank of International Settlements. They will start accumulating Bitcoin, stable tokens, that type of thing. Regulation across the board around the world will pretty much be not 100% solid, but it'll be solid enough. And the world is going to start changing, and you're pretty much buying now for 2025. So you could still catch Gala, you could still catch Moonbeam, all these different, Beam, whatever, you could all these metaverse tokens are going to be crazy valuations. These on and off ramp tokens, KuCoin, CoinX, all these different tokens. These on and on ramps, where you would sell your money to buy the token and where you would sell your token to buy, all those tokens are going to be worth a lot of money. Any Chainlink, Cosmos, all these layer ones and whatnot. You want to have a good exposure to these different things. And I'm not really an NFT guy, but get good at NFTs. When you're with gaming, there's a lot of NFTs in gaming. There's a lot of artifacts and things that you can buy. I'm too bullish on everything long term, and I just don't have enough money. I could borrow a shit ton of money, but and that's another thing. If you're gonna borrow money, borrow it now. To buy stuff now. You don't want to be borrowing money to buy it later, because everything is going to already go up. Now, why we're still in the crypto spring, we're in a bull market, but we're still kind of have features of the bear market. Now is a great time to do your planning, do your due diligence, but also build out the rest of your life. Cryptos, I'm going to tell you, I'm working on having a business. I own BitcoinChico.com, and I own CryptoLongterm.com. I'm going to be building that stuff out, and I got some ideas. I got some people I'm talking to, and whatnot. So cryptos for me, it's more I love the research. I'm passionate about the research and recognizing the patterns and recognizing where things will end up being down the road. I like that stuff. So we're going to be building that stuff out. But other than that, there's other investments. So at this point in time, you want to think about risk. And when you make a lot of money, you got to roll that out of those assets into less riskier assets. Because what we want to do is create something that's indefinite, long-term, that what we build out, we can use indefinitely. So cryptos go up and down. So it's like a bucking horse, a bucking bronco, right? You could stay on until it bucks you off. So when you make your gains, you take your gains, you got to roll them into assets that are going to be producing income, and they're going to be sustainable for a very long period of time. And that's our goal. And in business, we want businesses, we want assets that produce income. We want capabilities, new capabilities. That could be language abilities for you. That could be going to college. That could be learning a trade, something that can lead into a business. You want to build out the rest of your life and use cryptos as what we call a force multiplier. A force multiplier is something that will just greatly enhance your capabilities than normal. Okay, like in law enforcement and whatever, it would be intelligence, it would be weapons. It's that type of thing. Is force multipliers. Economic force multiplier is something that will give you value in your life, will keep you moving forward, keep you from being lazy, and just have sustainable economic and benefits. You want the value and the benefits to continue for as long as possible. So so anyway, like, that's a little bit of my thoughts with where we are with the market. We're still in the hope stage when it comes to the Wall Street cheat sheet. There's still good deals to be had. People really aren't completely 100% bought in yet. And people are kind of like, half in, half out right now. So I am 100% in. I'm trying to buy as much as I possibly can. And when everybody else is fully engaged in wanting to invest, that's when I want to be in a position to be able to supply them with crypto. So I'm buying an undervalued asset, and when people go crazy and valuations are off the charts, I will then come into the market and supply them. You always want to be the person that is the producer, not the consumer. Right now, nobody really wants crypto unless you're, Wall Street or something, or corporations or big money people. The retail really isn't here yet. Just maybe enthusiasts or, people like you and me. But the big masses aren't even here yet. They will be here. They always arrive late, and always the smart people are rewarded by their hard work to provide them. So I want to be the one that supplies them with all the gala tokens that they want, and this and that and the other thing. And maybe in the future, 10, 15 years, 20 years from now, I'll be the one that supplies Bitcoin to the ultra rich, because I'm buying Bitcoin specifically. We're going to talk about Bitcoin now. I'm buying Bitcoin now, even pieces of Bitcoin, because I know how much Bitcoin is going to be in 2030, 2035, 2040. I know it's going to be a hell of a lot more money now. It's either going to go to zero or it's going to go to $1 million. But I want to be a supplier to the rich for crypto in the future in that way. A lot of these other tokens, in the short period of time as well. So you want to be thinking ahead of everybody else. It's like planning for a party. If you're going to have a party, a drinking party at your house, and you're going to invite all your friends, like, what are you going to do? You're going to have food. You're going to have alcohol. You're going to maybe put away some of your best furniture, You're going to maybe have plastic furniture, for example. You might have a lifeguard to watch people so they don't drown in your swimming pool. You're going to prepare, and you're going to have preparations. So you want to do the same thing with this wall of money that's about to come into crypto. We don't know exactly when all the money's going to come in. It'll probably trickle here and there, and then it'll be, ups and downs. But we want to prepare like we're preparing for a party. We want to have everything ready. And then when the first round of people come in, you want them to have a good time. And it's going to be the same, for when these people come in to buy crypto. They're going to be buying it from us at higher prices. And we're going to be buying it at cheaper prices. So even though things have already went up, it's still cheaper than what it will be in 2025. We're later on in this year. Now we're in 2024. And like I said, think about real estate. Think about, like I said, learn and apply these techniques from crypto into other assets. Okay, we know that they're flooding people into the United States and Europe like there's no tomorrow. So these people will eventually get money from the government, or they'll have jobs, or whatever the case may be. So we know real estate is just going to go up and up and up over time. There might be periods of deflation, but over time, there's going to be people that need these houses, and they're not going to be able to buy them. So valuations will just go up. We know that the government keeps on printing money. So inflation, just to keep your money like somewhat like if you buy something for $100,000 today, it's worth $200,000, next year. I'm just using crazy numbers. your purchasing power might be the same as it was when you had the $100,000, but you want the cash flow, right? But you want to try to park your money in somewhat safe things. I think the only safe thing in crypto is Bitcoin. Maybe in the future ETH, but in obviously stable. But stable coins, with inflation, their purchasing power diminishes like 10% a year, roughly, depending on the numbers, depending on what country you're in. I rather have my money in Bitcoin, even though it fluctuates. Over time, it will stop fluctuating. But, stuff like even, that's stable. You want stuff that's stable, but you want stuff that's going to give you the cash flow. So, whatever that means to you, but check it out. Like, there's plenty of land that's undervalued, or there's going to be houses that are going to, collapse in price the next couple of years. And you'll be able to buy them low, rent them out, and maybe flip it and double your money. There's plenty of that going on. You can buy houses at tax liens. You can buy them like when people die, you buy their houses from their heirs. There could be places that are going to be popular in the future, and everybody's moving up that way because nobody wants to be anywhere else because there's too many people, so they'd rather be somewhere else. You want to go, the same thing you apply to crypto, you can apply to real estate. If you know the migration of people are going to go into one specific area, then buy in that specific area and wait. I bought a piece of property, half acre, for $7,500 in 2016. And I knew there was going to be probably, hundreds of thousands of people moving in that area. And I was right. And now the property is worth probably 10x what I paid. And that's just in real estate. So build out this other stuff. And like I said, don't put all your money in crypto. I have money in conservative investments, gold, silver, property, education, my own education. Another way of reducing risk is have a good job, be a good employee. Just if you like your work, then try to be the best you can at it. If you're just going to somewhere for a job to make money, well, just make your money and then leave. But, try to pick a career or try to go into a new career, where you can excel and be the best. That's a form of lowering your risk. Having businesses and have other people run your businesses, that's another way of reducing risk. But if cryptos completely collapse, you want money to come in so you can buy that collapse. But if you don't have the job and you don't have the other investments that you can sell and pull money from and throw it into crypto when it's low, then you can't pivot, you can't make adjustments, you can't exploit opportunities. And also, like, if you don't need any money or credit, get the credit. One thing with me, and also take a risk. Like, I could have bought a lot more. I could have sold my Rolex at the bear market. Anyway, my Rolex, like MM Crypto, at the bear market when Bitcoin was 15.5, he sold his Rolexes, his Lamborghinis, everything, and he bought Bitcoin, physical Bitcoin with that. Yeah, that kid's freaking smart. And I look at it like this. My Rolex, it was a used Rolex. I bought it for my birthday in 2021. It's worth about $17,000 back then. It's worth the same now. It's worth about $17,000 now. Well, I could have sold that, and I could have bought one Bitcoin with that, and that one Bitcoin is now $45,000. I could have bought, I don't know, what, 2 or 3? Almost like, probably like two with a little bit of money. I could have bought 2, almost 3 Rolex watches with that if I would have just bought Bitcoin with it instead of keeping it, like that. But anyway, I still have that option because it's still valuable. So, but the thing is, like, you just don't sell everything for crypto. You need that. I like my watch. It's an asset, and it's a low risk asset, and it holds its value. Same thing with real estate. Even if my piece of property goes down, I paid $7,500 for it. It's 10x that. So even if it goes to 5x, I don't care. If it goes down to $35,000, I don't care. I don't care at all. You know, like I'm still up. So you want to have your hand in different ways. You got to diversify, because if crypto's completely nuke like it did in 2022, you don't want to lose everything and be completely, you know, back to work. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick little talk. We're 30 minutes in, so we're going to stop now. And, you know, I hope you pick up something from this video. I really want the best for you guys, but there's still so many deals to be bought. And honestly, some of these deals, you throw $100 in, you might end up with 10 grand. You know, you don't always have to go heavy, $1,000, 10 grand. You don't always have to go heavy, 100,000. You can literally maybe a couple $100, and you can end up with some good returns. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.